I'm about to do a live stream on the sacred contract, and I'm just making sure that I'm on because I'm doing it in 2 spaces. So I'm trying to make sure that I am on. So my name is Latoya of Infinite Nature, and I wanted to do a video on the sacred contracts. And just to give you a little insight on me, I am a holistic health advocate, and I am a lover of books. I am a lover of astrology, numerology, and I share that on my Infinite Nature platforms, from YouTube to Instagram to Facebook, things of that nature. And one of the things that I've been sharing a lot on my Instagram in particular is my sacred contract of pulling these cards, the Caroline Myss Archetype cards, and I'm showing them in 2 places, so that's why I'm moving. But these cards are amazing, and if you are on Instagram, then you've been following me, then you know that I've been pulling cards and like sharing them. And the reason why I've been doing that is because I want to learn more about archetypes. And I was very intrigued with the book Sacred Contracts, very excited about it. So I started to read Sacred Contracts about almost 5 years ago. So in 2016, we're at the end of 2020. So almost 5 years ago, I started to read this book that I found at the bookstore, Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myss. And when I first read the book, I was overwhelmed and a little intimidated because it's an interactive book and you have to really be real with yourself and really answer the questions. And the sacred contracts, according to Caroline Myss, is, and also what I gather just from the title of the books, is about your divine assignment. It's about what your purpose here is in this lifetime. And, if you believe in past lives, or if you believe in past lives, then, that you agreed to a certain assignment to carry out in this lifetime. And that's what this book is about. It's about recognizing what your sacred contract is and being in alignment with it. So, and hello to everyone that's just joining. Just to let you know, I'm doing this live on StreamYard and on Instagram. So I'm going to be looking in 2 places showing these things. So, but yes, back to the sacred contract. So this is a powerful book, and you have to really do a lot of shadow work. So when I initially started reading this book in 2016, I read it to a certain point, but I feel like I had to go through some things. I had to experience some things. I had to learn some more things. But you can go on my YouTube channel called Infinite Nature, and I have it listed there. I have all the book reviews that I've done on Sacred Contract. Even when I went to a certain point in 2017, then I stopped, and I started again at the end of 2019, but I started to actually share what I was reading in 2020 and how it's impacted me and how I feel like it's very beneficial. It's like I love this book. But archetypes are like energy. It's energy that's symbolic, and it's in all of us. And in this book, Sacred Contract, and I wish I have it with me, but I'm not near my book. But in the book, Sacred Contracts, the archetypes are pretty much just symbolic energy it's like symbolic energy. And we all have it within us. We all have different aspects of us, the different aspects of us. We're all multidimensional. None of us can really be put in a box unless we try to force ourselves in it. But the powerful thing about the archetypes and what I learned from the book is, the 4 main ones that we all share, which is the victim archetype, which is the guardian of, what is that? The guardian of, I believe, is self-esteem. Yes, the guardian of self-esteem is the victim archetype. To me, that's a great way to reframe the word victim. And then you have the child archetype, which is the guardian of innocence. Then you have the saboteur, which is the guardian of, what is that? Faith. And then you have the prostitute, which is, no, the prostitute is actually the guardian of fate, and the saboteur is the guardian of choice, And when you look at the victim archetype, which is within all of us, but it is neutral unless we activate it. But the victim archetype, when you think of that, somebody who is power is taken away from them, or they give away their power in some way, shape, or form, feeling, defeated, things of that nature. However, you can always utilize your victim archetype to bring out that power within you. For example, somebody was bullied growing up, or they were like the black sheep of their family, you can utilize that feeling of isolation or feeling victimized. You can utilize that to empower yourself and be not afraid to stand on your own, and to be innovative and to take risks. You can utilize that victimized experience as a child and transform that to empower you. So that's how you're supposed to use these archetypes. You're supposed to use your archetypes to empower you, even if you're operating from your shadow form. And that's why I love this book, is because it showcases the duality of humans, of human nature. And just remember, when you're tapping into your shadow side and when you're tapping into the lighter attribute, and how even when an archetype seems negative, how you can transform that into a beneficial energy for yourself and for the collective. So that's why what I love about this book. And then you also have the child archetype, which is about innocence. It's about play. It's about imagination, but there's other aspects of the child that she talks about in the book, which is like the wounded child, the magical child, which is also the innocent child, the eternal child. There's different ones that many people may be able to identify with, but the key to it is being able to connect it to your life. And what I love about this book in particular is that there's a lot of questions that you have to answer, and you have to be real with yourself. And that's how you're able to really utilize these archetypes in your everyday life, and even during challenging times. And you'll be able to identify when you're operating from your more shadow side and when you're operating from your more lighter side. So that's the amazing thing about this. And hello to everyone that's joining in. I'm doing this live from 2 different places, so I'll be looking here and looking there, so just bear with me. But I am talking about Caroline Myss and the Archetypes, and I really love this book. I have a book review series pretty much on the sacred contracts on my YouTube channel, Infinite Nature, and I'm finding that people actually really go to those videos because a lot of people are reading those books. But archetypes are like the energy that's symbolic, and it's in with each and every one of us. And I'm talking about the different archetypes, the main ones that we all share, which is the victim archetype, which is the child archetype, the saboteur, and the prostitute. And I've already gone over the child archetype and the victim, and you can go back and watch it to see the other ones. But as far as with the child archetype, that represents the innocence, that represents playfulness, imagination, creativity. And there's different aspects as far as the wounded child, the magical child, the eternal child, the orphan child. So you have all of these that you can really see if I can identify with. But then you also have the shadow aspect of the child, which is the child that may not grow up, the person that never grows up, or the person that has a hard time making decisions, or the person that reacts to things. Like, how with toddlers, I have a toddler. So, with toddlers, they want what they want when they want it. And that's just what it is. So with that being said, but the key is, of course, with toddlers, you're patient with them and you support them in creating tools and creating skills to be able to deal with certain situations. But, some people never learn those and they're adults. So, it's just being able to identify your shadow and light parts of yourself, which makes you more, you are less judgmental. That's what I've learned through this experience of reading this book and really doing interactive work, is being less judgmental and seeing the beauty in both aspects of me, of different aspects of myself. So the next one is the prostitute, and the prostitute is not just about sex. It's not just about selling your body. It's about selling your soul, your spirit, selling your voice. It's about not speaking your truth out of fear of judgment, or out of fear of not having validation, or not having friends, or not having your family around you. It's selling yourself, censoring yourself. It's staying in a relationship just for financial means. It's those type of things where you're not really allowing your light to shine out of fear or out of security. So that's a big thing that we all have to be mindful of when we activate the prostitute archetype. But the thing with that is in the book, Caroline Myss discusses this archetype as the guardian of faith, which is a great way to reframe the prostitute. Because if you have faith in yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you know that you will always be provided for, then you won't limit yourself. You won't limit your voice. You won't limit yourself in circumstances where you are not really blooming to your full degree. So the prostitute can express itself in many ways, but this is just one example that I'm explaining. And then we have the saboteur, and the saboteur, that one is a very sneaky one, because there may be times where you're being an inner critic, and you thinking you're being cautious or careful, and you're really self-sabotage. But that's really what it is. A saboteur is ways in which you sabotage yourself. So that is the guardian of choice, according to Caroline Myss in the Sacred Contracts. And the powerful thing about this one is you learn how to view your situations you're in. You learn how to make conscious choices for yourself so that you can take actions. So that you avoid being in situations where you are feeling like defeated in whatever the situation may be, whether it is a job, for example. You may feel like you're in a horrible job, and that you hate it, and that you feel like there's nothing that you can do about it. However, there may be other opportunities available to you. You're just not paying attention to them because you're so fixated on the how horrible this job is, and somebody may even offer you another opportunity, but you're like, no, I don't want to do that, because I can't see myself doing that. I can't, or it may open you up to new opportunities, but you're just like, no, I'm not going to do that. But you're still complaining about the situation you're in, but you're not taking any action. So that's what I'm talking about when I say, well, when Caroline Myss says the guardian of choice. So that is pretty much all of the main archetypes that we all share: the victim, the child, the prostitute, and the saboteur. But then we also have there's other archetypes. And on my Instagram, as I stated earlier, is that Caroline Myss has these cards that you can pull. And I wanted to learn even more about other archetypes. So every day I would pull a card, and I would actually, study it. Some of them I already knew because I chose my own archetypes. And in the book, I'm telling you, this book is very interactive. This book, you have to take your time. It took me a few months just to get through the book, and still it's continuous work. But I wanted to learn more about archetypes in general. And I love it because now that when I watch certain things like documentaries or movies or read novels or read books, I'm able to see oh, that's a certain archetype. I always say, oh, that's the victim archetype, or oh, that's the guide, or that's the the healer. I love being able to see the duality of those archetypes and how people express it in everyday life, and also in documentaries and books and movies and things of that nature. But that's the reason why I got these cards, is so that I can learn more about the archetypes, and just really, I just enjoy it or whatnot. But in the book, you learn you get to choose your own archetypes, which is amazing, you know. And it's not just some you just choose them. You have to be really honest with yourself. You answer a whole bunch of questions or whatever, and you do it in an intuitive way also. But I have this on my YouTube channel, all of this information, like me going through my own personal experience of reading the sacred contracts and utilizing the information in interactive ways. This is a lot of shadow work. You have to answer a lot of real questions about yourself. You got to face yourself. And I shared in a YouTube video that I remember seeing one of my archetypes in my in my meditation, and I was freaked out. I was freaking out. Like, it's just really on my YouTube to see all of it. But I just wanted to get on because I've been doing a lot on, like, I've been doing a lot on the winter solstice and fasting and things of that nature, and eating, you know, eating raw and things. And I wanted to focus on another energy. Like, I wanted to focus more so on this for now, because I don't want people just to think that I'm just about raw food and things of that. I'm like, no, because some people will do that. They will probably try to put you in a box, but don't ever let no one put you in a box. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys, just in case you may be interested in it, and just to let you know that I do have, you know, my own experience of me going through the book and reading it, and I love it, you know. And I like Caroline Myss's other books. She has other books that I fell in love with, and then, but this is the only one that it took me a few years to really get through it, because the first few times I didn't get through it, but I do have it documented, like some insights that I learned. But this year I was able to get through it, and I feel like it's because I've been through some things, I've learned more, and I was just able to take it in. But that's how it is with any book. With many books, that's what it with many books, you may read it the first time and no, but then if you read it the second, third time, like, oh, I picked up on this time, based upon what you have learned, based upon your own personal experiences. You're able to see things from a different perspective. So that's what I did with the sacred contracts. So I will be back for more. But the reason why I wanted to do this, another reason why, is because I miss pulling the cards every day for the I miss pulling these, but I finished all of them. I intentionally did this so I can learn, and I just wanted to share with other people that may, you know, that may have interest in like tarot cards and stuff like that. So I just did that just to kind of learn more about the archetypes, and I've already finished it, you know. It took me like maybe a few months to get through all the archetypes, because I only focused on the ones that are connected to me. But as I was pulling the different ones that I didn't choose as my top 12, because in the sacred contracts, you choose 12. Well, you don't choose all 12. 4 of them are the ones that we all share, but then the other 8 you get to choose. So I focused more on those. But then as I was pulling the cards from this, then I realized, I was like, there's some other ones that would be in my top 20, my top 30, you know. And that's what she mentions in the book, Caroline Myss. She mentions that you know, that we all have these aspects within us. It's just we may resonate more with certain ones compared to others. So I just want to just say hello to everybody, and I'm about to get off. And this is my first time doing live from 2 different areas, from StreamYard and from Instagram. So hopefully it works. Hopefully I'm able to save this and share it. But thank you guys for watching. Hello, good morning, or good grand rising, and have a great day. Bye, guys.